Live on 95.1. With Femi D Live, Nigeria Info, Abuja, let's talk.
A very good morning to you and to yours this very lovely day. Welcome to the show today. How are you today? Hope everything is going great. It's a new day. This is Nigeria Info 95.1. Welcome to Morning Crossfire with Femi D Live. I am Femi D. Amele. Welcome once again. All right, December is coming along. It's the 5th day of December 2023. Let's take a look at some of the biggest stories as we have them across the papers for today. Do remember the stories have been published under the editorial guide of various publishers, and we on Nigeria Info are only here to inform you of the headlines as we have them. We encourage you to read up more about the details of the story for various mediums as we have them at this time. Well, for 5th of December 2023, we'd like to review stories as we have them from This Day, Leadership, Daily Post, Punch newspaper, and The Sun newspaper for today.
This is Morning Crossfire.
Here we go. Starting off with The Sun newspaper now. Information Minister, federal government sponsored only 422 Nigerian delegates to COP28 summit. Kaduna government, army has taken responsibility for community bombing. Nigeria records 1.88 trillion naira trade surplus in third quarter. NLC, next minimum wage will be based on cost of living. Other stories are still with This Day. You find Africa's Bank President Orama emerges Forbes African 2023 Person of the Year. Also of interest this morning, at COP28, DIRI seeks global attention for coastal erosion ravaged Bayelsa communities. Sanwo-Olu rolls out Lagos Climate Resilience Plan, signs 2 waste management deals. I'm keeping up with other stories. Still with This Day, you'd find Sanwo-Olu Oyetola receive Grimada's largest container RO vessel. Port Harcourt refinery ready this December. NNPC insists. MBS to develop MOU on data integrity. Nigeria tops list of vulnerable petro states as energy transition threatens to wipe out $8 trillion revenue by 2040. As Senate investigates 250 billion naira gas expansion projects. Other stories you find examine Lagos demolitions and its trailing controversies. Spike in the cost of drugs widens social gap, lack of access to health care. All right, then. Well, these are stories from This Day. Taking a look at the likes of leadership now. Anger as army bombs Kaduna villagers now. Anger as army bombs Kaduna villagers. Bank limits withdrawals to 10K as scarcity bites harder. 400 billion state pension backlog threatens workers' retirement plan. Emefiele's Kingsmen, CSOs allege threat to life. COP28, consider Africa's peculiarity in net zero plan. Kyari urges global leaders. COP28, several nations promise to shut coal-powered plants. Other stories still with leadership for today. Group passes vote of confidence on Benue governor. Court orders retrieval of 50 official vehicles from ex-Zamfara governor Matawale. 2024 budget, 15 billion new housing for VP shocking, disheartening, says Peter Obi. On the crisis, lawyer alleges cabal forging Akeredelu's signature, urges governor to delegate power. Rivers now, we will abide by our campaign promises, Fubara. Edo 2024, group asks APC Zone Organizing Secretary to join race. Other stories you have under the sports section. Why Nigeria produces more strikers than defenders. Okoche speaks about this. And now to Daily Post for today. Ondo commissioners not forging my signature, Governor Keredolu fires back. Infrastructure gap. Federal government's 1.33 trillion naira budgetary allocation raises concern. Benue Assembly suspends 4 members for 3 months. Benue ignores National Assembly, confirms caretaker committee. ATBU shut down campuses after students' protests. Keeping up, Boko Haram court sentences 4 to jail for financing terrorists. AGF, Fagbemi seeks more funding in 2024 budget. You also find Court adjourns judgment on case of enforcing human rights. Federal government to raise 298.4 billion naira from selling off assets. Court orders transfer of suits seeking NAS takeover of Rivers Assembly to Abuja. 160 Nigerian youths receive 1.2 million US dollar grants. APC postpones inauguration of standing committee indefinitely. Hired elements trying to discredit Yusuf, Kwankwaso, NNPP raises alarm. Tinubu faces another legal battle in Supreme Court over 2023 presidential poll. That's according to Daily Post now. Tinubu turned COP28 Dubai Summit into Owambe Jamboree with 1,411 delegates, according to article. Benue APC alleges plots to protest against Tinubu and others. COP28, PDP knocks Tinubu over 1,411 entourage to Dubai amid hardship. On Super Eagles now, Pizarro neglects of on-base players under scrutiny. Scrutiny, I beg to say. Family members chain starved man to death in Nasarawa over alleged witchcraft. 3 arraigned for murder belonging to unlawful society. Police raid kidnappers' hideout and kill 2 in Adamawa. Police arrest kidnappers who buried man alive in Rivers. Applicant jailed 4 months for stealing yam. ATBU police tear gas students protesting killing of undergraduate by robbers. On YouTube now, Burna Boy surpasses Diamond Platinum as most streamed artist in sub-Saharan Africa. All right, now to Punch for today. Federal government plans to revoke unused oil licenses. COVID-19 funds reps to track 60 billion naira FEMA projects. Oil revenue rises by 83%, hits 8.5 trillion naira, according to MBS report. 2,000 workers' November salaries withheld over IPPIS irregularities. Rule of law abuse must stop, says NSCDC GC. Outrage as warplane kills 85 in Kaduna village bombing. Cash shortage hits banks. Customers rush for BVN NIN revalidation. Funding 422 delegates to COP28 wasteful, opposition tells federal government. 366 Boko Haram terrorists convicted, 4 financiers jailed, according to AGF. Family panics as 30-year-old schoolgirl disappears in Lagos. Gateway Poly shut down over robbery attacks. EFCC arraigns businessman for alleged 105 million naira fraud. Soldier, wife, others die in Lagos multiple crashes. Courtists bury ex-Rivers CDC boss alive. Suspects nabbed. Police arrest Cotonou chef for stealing employers' valuables. Police family keep mom as kidnappers demand 30 million for Abuja victims. Hoodlums attack Ogun farm, kidnap 3, kill 20 fowls. Collapsed bridge, making life unbearable. Lagos community laments. Fire guts diesel tanker in Lagos. Insecurity, government bans masquerade parade in Imo community. And now to round off, The Sun is the last paper I'll be reviewing for now. Fuel subsidy remover, Tinubu acted without proper planning, APC chieftain. Why president appointed young Nigerians as ministers and aides, says Gbajabiamila. COP28 summit, culture of waste must end for Nigeria to make progress, says Labour Party. DIRI seeks global attention for coastal erosion ravaged by ESA communities. Cuba now, that's on Cuba election. Edo North Labour Party leaders rally support for Emma Suagbon. Army admits killing villagers in bombing target error. Benue APC accuses alias appointees of plot to protest against Tinubu and Senate President and SGF. Court extends order stopping PDP from removing Ayahu as National Secretary. NNPP leadership crisis gets messier as Kwankwaso and Near Bunam camps clash. Withdrawals controversy force APC to postpone committee inauguration. All right, well, these are stories as we have them across the papers for today. Do you remember the stories that have been published under the editorial guide of various publishers? And we on Nigeria Info have only informed you of the headlines as we have them for today.
This is Morning Crossfire.
We're streaming live right now on Facebook. Join us on Facebook, on facebook.com/Nigeria Info Abuja. Or easily just search up at Nigeria Info Abuja on Facebook and on YouTube at Nigeria Info Abuja. You get a similar experience there. I look forward to your comments as you write them in on those very platforms. We're ready to take on your calls at this time. Do remember to follow through with our editorial guide. Your calls need to be devoid of hateful speech, lies, fake news, and abuses. We ask of you to be truthful and factual as you share with us on Nigeria Info. We plead with you to keep your views short and interesting, and do regulate your emotions as much as you can, and as you share with us and millions of people who are listening in at this time. All right then, let's go.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
0700-951-0000 will do fine for you to connect today. That's 0700-951-0000. You can also join in on 08095974869. That's 08095974869. And on WhatsApp, it's 08099930137. Good morning.
Family, good morning this morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes, that's your work.
Very well. Thanks for joining in. Your name, please.
My name is Emmanuel Ocharifu, the Freedom Wheeler. Femi, what is catching my attention this morning is this money scarcity again. I don't know why we will be having this kind of problem in Nigeria. We are facing food scarcity, and now cash crunch has also come in.
You almost missed out on the fact that there's almost some sense of patrols queues as well showing up in Abuja.
Femi, I don't understand. You said what?
Petrol, I don't know, for some weird reason, people are lining up the filling stations as well.
Exactly. You see, I don't know where we have it, where we got it wrong. At every aspect of the economy, something or things are going very, very wrong. I think this is time for the president and his team to come up and alleviate the suffering of Nigeria, especially now that it's a festive period.
Oh, dear. Okay, let's take on another call. Good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Mr. Honorable Minister of the Mind.
All right, then. Let's hear from you.
I think we said that Tinubu to spend 1,000 and well, in 3 jamboree or 1 bear jamboree. Yes. And the problem I have, and this Abuja Mela says that yes, the president elected the young thinkers. What have they achieved? Everything is increasing every day. Is that achievement? Age have nothing to do with the economy. Insecurity. What are we talking? Okay, now they said that they found the federal government to ban the masquerade in English. Is it not the same masquerade that scatter people in Lagos? They scatter people the day of election in labor, where labor, they know the people are going to win there. Is it not the same masquerade? God will judge all of them.
God will judge all humans, okay? Let's just be clear about that. And by the way, it's the prerogative of the state government. It's not the federal. Federal government did not ban masquerades. Good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Yes, welcome. Good morning to you.
Thank you.
Yes.
This is Isabel on the line. You see, on COP28, also,
oh dear, the network is not helping much. Not too sure we can take your call. The network is not favorably on your side. Good morning to you. Good morning.
God bless your family. May God bless every family, everywhere they be.
Thank you, sir. Amen. Yes, sir.
See, Femi, let's tell ourselves the truth. We cannot be able to commit crime, and we think that God can just allow us to see a good thing in life. My brother, do you know in this country, we have to, how can somebody go and kill somebody, or somebody go and let somebody to go and pay ransom, and he expect God can allow us to be enjoying this country? Eh? So that is my say this morning. Thank you very much. May God bless Nigeria. May God give us wisdom to change our attitude. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear friend. Siri Joe Dadata says, good morning, Dr. Femi. Why is it that many army fighter jets attack on villages is always a recurring decimal, rather, you're right. Why is it that it's a recurring decimal? Can they survey the place before the attack? Okay, that's your question. Obinike Paul Fitzgerald says, good morning, Femi. The insecurity this time is relatively intolerable, where our Tinubu security chiefs and technocrats. Ludadi Abiodun says, good morning, Femi. The delegates to this summit is too outrageous, but some political leaders who are talking now will be worse if they are to be Tinubu. Praise writes, and it says, it's true that Nigeria is not the country with the highest number of delegates at COP28 in the world, not even in Africa. But hinging the size on African countries, taking similar numbers of delegates is not proper since they are not going through hard times. Okay, since they're not going through, wait, what's your message? Since they are not going through hard times as we are currently facing in the country, our leaders should please be sensitive to the plight of the masses. God help us. Good morning to you. Good morning.
Family.
Yes, good morning to you.
Masma calling from Apple.
You're welcome.
sponsoring 428 people to go.
411. That's the number of Nigerian delegates.
400. Okay. When you are asking us to cut our size of eating, manage our expenses, you are increasing the school fee. Everything in the market is going high, and yet we are wasting our money to sponsor 411 people to buy.
Can I jump in there? The federal government says they sponsored over 200 and not 1,411. Those people got private sponsorship. Yes, over 200 plus. 400. Yeah, just barely less than 100. Anyway, that's their claim. Yes, go on, please.
It is 200, I think it's not too bad because, 200 is all right. That figure is not too bad. Well, they should do something. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah?
Grateful to you. Okay, well, that's the claim. At least that's the way they say it. It may be so, it may be otherwise at this time. But I also think, a part of me is also thinking that quite a number of people were just being clever enough to go, to Dubai, because, of course, there are restrictions on the number of people that can travel to Dubai now and so many things going on in that arena. I think it was just clever. People just wanted visas. I just thought it was a good summit to use to get the visa stamps. And the government may not necessarily, I do not know for true, may not necessarily have sponsored people to travel into those summits. However, it doesn't mean maybe they assisted in paving way for some of those people who wanted visas into Dubai to get those visas. Easier done than having to do the I beg to apply myself. That's just my thinking. But some did get sponsored by NGOs and the likes of them to attend those summits. Now, the very summit that we're talking about here. I'm rounding off now. Dr. Misu Libera from Ori says, I charge the National Assembly not to be in a hurry to pass this bill. External borrowing should not be contemplated as we cannot rely on borrowings to fund our budget. Let's activate solid minerals coals that are begging for activation. Let the government cut down high cost of governance and frivolities, reduce overseas travels, downsize SAs, PAs, ban office coffee and snacks, leaving only water. Let the government look inwards and bring creativity into governance to bring in new lease of life to the suffering of the masses. All right, that's it for me for now. Stay with me right here on Nigeria Info. After the break, we'll check in with some of the newsmakers on the lead and take more calls and messages.
New shows.
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I do it every morning on Morning Crossfire from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 95.1, and I'm Femi D. Amede. Join the biggest conversation around national politics every day in a way that is trustworthy, full of passion, and yes, covers the biggest politics and the stories that matter to you. See, you have all the reasons to find out what's going on in Nigeria and be engaged differently. Let's talk. That's the way to go, even this morning.
This is Nigeria Info.